ahead, Jonathan.
Well, hi, Mom. Well, first of all, I'd just like to thank Mark Chipman, the man at this table, Chevy, Arnie, the Winnipeg Jets organization for welcoming me to this organization, to this family. This thing is, can everyone hear me anyways? Yeah. Yeah, I just want to say it's truly an honor. I think the closer I got to really following through and making a decision, the reality started setting in how special it was, and all the memories flooded back from my childhood of just why and when I fell in love with the game of hockey. And it really all started by being a young kid going to the Winnipeg Arena and watching games and just being in that atmosphere. And I mean, it's hard to imagine, much about what's going on down on the ice, but just something about the action, the energy, and the whiteouts, and just being a part of that. Just, I don't know, I just caught the bug and became passionate for the game, and it's just surreal to be sitting here right now putting this jersey on. It's kind of like, you have these moments throughout your career where some things you kind of, I don't want to say you get jaded, but you get used to it and you kind of settle in. This is another moment that kind of brings me back to, like, it's that new feeling like you're getting drafted again. You're a young kid, so there's definitely that excitement and that motivation to come in. And obviously I haven't played in a couple of years, so I'm just really, really feeling blessed to be able to have the chance to play the game of hockey again at this level, but let alone for the Winnipeg Jets, and be part of this team and this organization that you hear nothing but good things, and how the organization treats the players and the families, but also just the chemistry and the family feeling that the guys have in the locker room. So I think that that's something I'm really looking forward to. And lastly, just, I've made Chicago my home for quite some time, and have had the chance to travel all over these last few years, and just to have different experiences away from the game of hockey. And I just think it means so much. I think as you grow as a person, you kind of take a little bit with you everywhere you go, but there's parts of you that'll never change, and I'll always be a Winnipegger through and through. And it's a dream come true to come back and play in front of my friends and family, and be a part of this city once again. So it's an honor, and one that has really lit that fire again, that excitement for the game. And so I'm really looking forward to it. And thank you all for coming here today. And it's a quick reminder. I was making a joke earlier that I knew there would be some excitement. I kind of expected that, but my phone started blowing up the way it did when we made the announcement. The reality set in. I'm like, okay, this is there's a lot of pressure playing in the Canadian market, and a lot of expectation, especially with the way the Jets have performed the last few years. So, I'm excited to be a part of all that. So thank you guys. Yeah, I would say about as some of you may know now, I've been outspoken a little bit about some of the things that I've done off the ice to try and heal and get healthy again. And I think, it was about a year ago, probably last summer, where I started really getting in a routine. And I think there was a time where it was challenging because I didn't have that. And I think as hockey players would all probably admit, we've all had very structured, routine lives since, we're young kids. And all of a sudden I didn't have that, so that was kind of a challenge in itself. But as I started kind of realizing, with or without hockey, I want to take care of my body, I want to do the right things, I want to just let life go where it's supposed to go. I'd gotten to a point where I'd pretty much needed to let myself completely get off a timeline to return. So in my mind, I'd kind of accepted in a way that I might not play again, and I think that was a challenging thing to do, but at the same time a very healthy thing to do, to just like wake up every day and not think of, this is where we're going. So But I'd say probably as the year went along, I got stronger every month, and I was working out, taking care of myself, but also just enjoying life. And I'd say these last 5 or 6 months, things have really trended in a direction. Since I started skating back in February and March, those are the moments where I'm like, okay, still got the hands are still there, the feet will catch up, and things have slowly gotten better since then. So really happy about where I'm at, and just there's a new energy, a new excitement. I think especially when I hit the ice again, it was easy to compare how I felt out there to how it was a couple of years ago when I was kind of struggling to get through the season. So that in itself was just a huge positive, and just kind of has really reinforced this positive cycle in a way too. So yeah, I'd say over the last year things have trended and gotten better every month. Yeah, well, I'll say this. I think when you try enough different things and they don't work, it's pretty frustrating. And I got to the point where like there was just no rhyme or reason. So I'm like, whatever shows up, I was just like, all right, we'll give that a shot. And I'd actually been introduced to ayurvedic medicine through a friend, I guess, who is someone I started working with. And as soon as I started following that diet and some of the different like herbs and tinctures and just supplements that kind of complement the diet, things started changing really fast. And so I knew right away that there was something to it. And the guy that I was working with made the suggestion. He's like, you know what, I've had a couple clients who have gone over to India to this place that's very reputable. They know what they're doing, and they've been doing this for a long time. And when he first suggested it, I kind of like laughed him off. I was like, there's not a chance in hell that I need to do that. Part of my ego at the same time was like, that's just not necessary. Like, I didn't want to entertain it at all. But anyways, that fall, I guess, or late summer, I had 2 commitments in Europe that I didn't really know what to do in between. I had about a month, so I was like, wasn't sure if I should come back to the U.S. or travel, this and that and the other thing. And I just decided, I'm like, why not give this a shot? So I ended up going out there, and I was really happy that I did. So it was just kind of by happenstance, and one of those things that I just went with and was open to and never really looked back. So.